What is going on, everybody? It's Stas here. So I want to go over a couple of stocks that are crashing right now. They're not looking good. They're taking a dump. In other words, they're taking a number two, and we're going to go I can't even say that with a straight face, guys. Oh, man. We're going to break down some stocks, though, in this video. We're going to go over what the markets are looking like. So sit back, relax, hit the like button, subscribe, check out my Patreon down below if you guys want all my buy, sells, call outs, morning update videos, plus more. All that's on Patreon, and let's get right into the video. So as of now, it's 1:30 p.m. on the East Coast, and we have a little bit left, 2 hours, 2.5 hours left in the markets, and across the board, we're looking pretty solid. The S&P is up 0.1%. The NASDAQ 100 is up over 1%. The Russell's down over 1%, so small caps are getting hit today, and we have the Dow down about 0.3%, so it's a pretty decent day for big tech, but all across the board, I guess you can say it is a mixed bag. And for SPY, we're seeing pure consolidation above 455, which was that all-time high from about 2 months ago. We've been consolidating there for 2-3 days. Now we're slowly starting to pop back up, which is a good sign. It's a sign that, hey, maybe we go all-time highs later today, maybe tomorrow, later on this week, maybe next week. That's kind of what I'm seeing here on SPY. And for QQQ, let's pop it up. This just hit an all-time high just now, literally 2-3 minutes ago, maybe 10 minutes ago, tops. This hit $383.09, and if you guys were watching the markets yesterday, we got 7 cents shy of the all-time high from early September, and we've been calling out these gaps, guys. QQQ consolidated a bit between 373 and more like 375 to 378, then we broke out of 378, filled the gap to 382. Then earlier today, we pulled back to 378 again. Now we ripped up and filled the entire gap and hitting an all-time high at 383, a little bit above it. So at this point, QQQ could be setting up for a full-on breakout. So I'm going to set my alert at 383.50. We'll put it there for now, and if we start getting out of that point, we might see a leg up towards 390, dare I say 400 over these next couple of weeks, especially as we're seeing big tech reporting, and we did see Microsoft, Google, and Facebook. So 3 of the big tech names reported, and we have Apple and Amazon later this week, and we'll talk about Google here in a second later in the video, which is crushing it today, so make sure you guys stick throughout. But first, before we go over Google, which is not crashing, in fact, it's up over 6% today, let's talk about 2 stocks that are very similar here that are crashing. Number one is Visa, ticker symbol V, and I want to go over with you guys what I'm going to be doing with these 2 stocks. So Visa reported earnings yesterday after market hours. We covered them, and their earnings were pretty good. I mean, they were expected to do $1.55 per share, 38% above the year earlier quarter, and they saw EPS estimates to rise 15% to $5.81 for the full year of 2021, and they came in, revenue for the quarter was seen growing 28%, and over year over year to $6.52 billion, $6.52 billion to cap off the year with $24.06 billion in revenue, which would be a 10% annual gain. So these were the estimates, and when they actually reported, they reported $1.62 per share, a 45% jump from the year ago quarter, and that was actually above the estimates for the quarter as well. And they did sales of $6.6 billion, an almost 30% increase, and EPS was $5.91 for the year, while revenue rose 10% to $24.1 billion. So it was a good quarter compared to the estimates, and the CEO came out and said, quote unquote, our performance was driven by the continuation of the recovery in many global economies and the increased diversification of our revenue with new flows and value-added services. And the CEO's name is Alfred Kelly. Looking ahead, Visa is even better positioned for the future as cross-border travel recovers and we continue to drive the rapid growth of digital digital payments and enable innovation and money movement globally. And the big risk with Visa and the stock we're going to talk about in a second here is the increase in cases potentially over the winter time, which I'm not sure if that's going to happen. It might not. But if so, it might, people might be like, hey, I'm not traveling. I'm not going here or there. So that cross-border performance might not be as great. But then again, people on the flip side are like, screw the CV. I'm done with this. Even if cases are up, we're still traveling. So there's both sides of the coin there. And payments volume grew 17% for the quarter and 16% for all of 2021. Cross-border volume surged 38% in Q4 and 9% for the year. Processed transactions increased 21% for the quarter and 17% for the year. And for the outlook, Visa sees 2022 revenue growth at the high end, or rather at the high end of the mid-teens, which is pretty solid, guys. An analyst had targeted about 20% growth, so that's a little bit under the analyst estimate. And the stock is down 5% on this news. It's down $12, almost $13 per share today, and I believe this was up originally. Look at this. It was up originally. You guys can see that. It went from 232 at close yesterday. It popped to a little bit over 234, almost 235. And it seems like once they had their earnings call, the stock tanked. It went from 232 down to about 222. Then we saw a bit of a spike pre-market to 226. And then boom, once the opening bell hit, this ended up taking a haircut to 218. And that's pretty much where it's been ever since. So in terms of Visa, I'm not necessarily looking to invest in this because I already have an investment in its competitor, which we're going to talk about right now, MasterCard. And MasterCard, guys, they report earnings today. They report earnings today after market hours, or is that tomorrow? Well, now it says tomorrow. I thought it was today. MasterCard reports tomorrow pre-market. And they're falling as well. I mean, they're falling because of Visa falling. That's what you kind of notice, right? If companies are very neck and neck, they're in the same industry pretty much, which Visa and MasterCard essentially are. If one reports and one falls in terms of the stock, you bet the other stock most likely is going to fall as well. So we're seeing MasterCard fall in sympathy of Visa. It's down almost 6%, and this one's down even more overall than Visa. MasterCard from $403, the all-time high from April, to now $336. The stock is almost in a bear market. It's down 17%, whereas Visa, let's go back to Visa. Visa's down, I think, 12% last time I checked, almost 13%. So MasterCard's getting hit a little bit more, which makes complete sense. Because MasterCard is a little bit more, I don't want to say risky because, there's risk with any stocks out there, but it's not like it's way riskier than Visa, but it offers more growth potential, right? Revenues are growing more. So with a stock that's more of a growth stock, it makes sense it's more volatile and it falls more than a stock that's more stable, less growth, which, don't get me wrong, Visa still has growth, but not as much growth as MasterCard, which makes sense why Visa isn't falling as much and it's not down 17% from the peak like MasterCard. Like I said, Visa's only down 12, 13%. So I'm looking to add more MasterCard tomorrow. In fact, I already have a buy order in because now it's actually approaching my average. I think my average on MasterCard, let me pop up my account that I own the most MasterCard in. My average, I believe, is like 3-something. Low 300s. And now we're pretty much there. We're at 330 right now. Let me see, guys. Bear with me for a second. My average, let's see here. Come on. My average is... Oh, it's 320. Okay, 325. Not too bad. So I'm going to be averaging down on MasterCard for sure tomorrow. And we got some news recently that MasterCard is actually preparing to announce that any of the thousands of banks and millions of merchants on its payments network can soon integrate crypto into their products. And that's news we got, I believe, earlier this week, according to CNBC. And that includes Bitcoin wallets, credit and debit cards that earn rewards in crypto, and enable digital assets to spend, and loyalty programs where airline or hotel points can be converted into Bitcoin. To do this, the payments network is partnering with Bakkt, B-A-K-K-T. The crypto firm recently spun off by Intercontinental Exchange, which will be the behind-the-scenes provider of custodial services for those who sign up, and that is also coming from CNBC. So this is pretty good news in my opinion. Bitcoin being integrated with MasterCard. I like to see that. The future is looking bright for MasterCard. So I'm buying more. This is a stock that I've owned for probably over a year and a half at this point. So yeah, those are two stocks that are crashing. One more than the other, and I'm definitely looking to buy more. And before we wrap up the video, let's go to Google, guys. Let's freaking go, baby. Google's up 6.4% today, up almost $200 per share, and it's completely breaking out. It's above both moving averages, and this is great considering this is my biggest position long term. It's my favorite stock long term. I can't complain. This is awesome. I mean, I've been on record saying out of the 5 big tech names, Google is probably the most, or I don't want to say undervalued. Well, out of the 5, it's the most undervalued. I'll come out and say it. It's the best value right now. And it goes to show in the earnings and in the stock's reaction to earnings. We saw Facebook tank. We saw what Microsoft's running as well. And we'll see what Apple and Amazon do. But Google, man, it's just unbelievable. It's breaking out above moving averages. We hit an all-time high, and we're a stone's throw away from $3,000 per share. And I actually am planning, call me crazy, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to buy more Google probably tomorrow or Friday or next week. I'm going to be averaging more into it because I think this company is great. Even here at almost $3,000 a share, it's still a pretty decent value if you're looking 3, 5, 10 years out. So that's it. I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, drop me a comment, let me know your thoughts, and check out my Patreon. If you want my real-time buys, sells, call-outs, all that good stuff, morning update videos, more access to me throughout the day, that's on Patreon, link down below, or you guys can simply go to stocksurfs.com/Patreon. Make sure to also get your $30 from M1 Finance, your 2 stocks from Webull. Those are free, link down below, and that's it. I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'll pop one up here. Check it out. I'll see you guys there. Thanks for watching again. As always, keep crushing the market. Stay safe out there. Peace out.